of a south wind, and our highs are warming up area-wide into the low 60s. Some clouds around tonight, a low 40s, and partly to mostly cloudy for tomorrow, the high low to mid-60s. Some rainy weather trying to move in Wednesday night into our Thanksgiving. I'm Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Listen to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Weekdays from 11 to 1.
Here we go.
From the Busch Light Studios, this is ESPN 95.3.
For this town is a pigskin paradise.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith. Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
Hello and welcome to your Tuesday edition of Halftime here in a very short week. So if yesterday was Monday and we only have 3 days to do the show, what is that? Is today's Wednesday, then that makes tomorrow Friday. I think that's the proper way to look at this.
Today would be Thursday.
Today'd be Thursday.
Yeah, but if we're doing 3, I got to jump ahead. So yesterday was Monday.
So that was the Monday's Monday.
No, yesterday was hump day.
We're skipping over
So we had
Tuesday.
the case of the Mondays.
Although I'll still do get off my lawn. We'll
I'm
treat
so
it like a
confused.
Wednesday. I know, it's really confusing, these kind of things. Back to normalcy next week.
See, I thought we had decided yesterday that Thursday is Sunday, or Wednesday is Friday, Thursday is Sunday, and Friday is Saturday. Because Arkansas plays on Friday.
We're going to have to go through all this again like once we get into the new year, because nothing screws up a human being's routine in the United States of America any worse than the holiday season, which has started already. It starts with Thanksgiving week. And it really, like, the screwing your whole body up and your whole brain up starts with the end of daylight savings time and the forcing of the clocks back and all of that crap. And we've already gotten into that. And now it gets even more difficult with the joy of the holidays and all the togetherness and all of the food and the week off of school. And for some people, you take off work, and then once the kids are out of school for another holiday break in another month, all bets are off.
Phil, they call it the most wonderful time of the year, but I find it kind of stressing.
It is a little stressful.
It is.
You're right about that, especially if you're doing the hosting. Like, there's nothing more stressful than having a bunch of hungry people that just want things.
Have y'all ever hosted a holiday dinner?
Yes, I have.
Not
Family
by
members
myself.
did the cooking for them too.
Wow.
Back in the days when I was married. Yeah, it's been a minute since that happened though. But yeah, there was a little pressure involved. Maybe I put it on myself, but you just don't want to dry the turkey out and dry out the mashed potatoes and dry out the dressing and all of that stuff when you got your parents coming over and the other significant other's parents too, and you really just want to get the holiday over with as soon as possible. So
and you
want to
make a
do
good
any
impression.
of the cleaning up. Well, by that point, it already made the good impression because we'd been married. I don't think the marriage would have occurred without at least the halfway decent impression. So yeah, I mean the stress begins, but the joy begins at the same time. It was a joy. 2 victories for Arkansas basketball.
I'll take it any night.
Yeah, I know you will. I will too. I didn't have a chance to get my eyes on the men's basketball game. Women's game started at 7:00. So by the time I'd packed up and gotten out of Bud Walton Arena, it was in the final, 5-6 minutes. I just listened to Chuck and Zim on the way home with the kids, and maybe a few moments where you're like, K-State may get back a little bit here, but no, Arkansas hits the free throws and able to would you say pull away? Win by 8 is good enough. Arkansas women's basketball, they had to sustain a pretty good SMU team and some real trouble shooting the basketball for the women's team yesterday, but grind out a victory and it's nice to get 2 victories in the same day. So what did you watched the men's basketball game, Drew, right?
I watched 75% of it because, it was up against my bedtime, Phil, and I had to get to bed. I didn't want to be grumpy.
You were a stickler for the bedtime.
I am.
So you watched it, but you didn't finish watching?
I did not finish watching the game.
We won.
Yes, I knew that. I figured that when I woke up. It was literally the first thing I looked at.
Well,
when I went to bed, they were still up double digits. So I think they were about 14 to 16 points ahead when I went to bed. So mainly what I got to watch was most of the first half. And first thing that jumps off the page at you when you talk about the game last night against K-State was the explosiveness to start the game, actually. Didn't dig themselves to any holes, didn't allow a team beneath them to stick around and to make shots and to contend with them in the first half, to where you didn't have to make all these second half adjustments. Didn't have to go into the locker room trying to figure out what you did wrong and how to fix it. You actually were able to get out to a lead, stay to the lead. Now, didn't play as good to start off the second half as you probably would like. Outscored in the second half by 10 total points as Kansas State eventually got things going. Second thing that really jumped off the page, and you don't know whether this has contributed to you played really good defense beyond the perimeter or Kansas State just shot really bad. Sometimes shots just don't go.
Or sometimes shots do go, like what happened in the previous game, even though, you're defended fairly well at times, still gave up 17 threes. Yeah, I guess not the prettiest of shooting displays between the two teams from behind the arc. Both Arkansas and Kansas State went 3 for 22 behind the three-point line. But, hey, I pulled up the stat broadcast during our post-game show last night just to look at the score, and oh, my gosh, they got out to a big lead early in this game, and that's not what you have been used to seeing, certainly not in this iteration of an Eric Musselman Arkansas basketball team, really in all of the first 3 games. Kind of a little bit of a lull to start it, but not yesterday. Connor Vanover, a big reason why, perhaps, he gets out there and was able to get to the foul line quite a bit, connects on his free throws. I think it's good to see Arkansas win a game without J.D. Notae going off.
Having to really take over.
Well, Chris likes 10 for 10 at the foul line. That's going to play. Audice Toney just really seems to make the most of his touches and generates his own touches by his ability to rebound offensively and stick them back. 13 points on just 8 shots, with 5 of 7 coming from the foul line, and 6 offensive rebounds for Audice Toney. So, and now you get to see what the energy's like a second day afterwards with a later tip. It's 8:30 tonight, right?
8:30, yes. So I will watch the first half and then go to bed. Because
do you hear something in the back of your mind when what time is your official bedtime?
9:30.
So when 9:30 hits, do you hear the voice of your mom in the back of your head pestering you to go to sleep?
No, honestly, I'm just about to pass out. That's the thing.
It's just as much as you can take.
When you wake up at 4:20 every day, it's by the time you hit 9:30 at night, regardless of how much energy you had spent. And I actually did spend a lot of energy yesterday, not only in the dip making contest and the hopes that I had for there, but I played golf yesterday, played some basketball as well. So 9:30, it really hit me.
Your dip was pretty good.
I appreciate it.
It wasn't the best.
That's a very personal thing to say to somebody, Maddie. Be careful about who you tell that to. So I was going to ask about that for the next segment.
We can hold off to the next segment to really get into the details.
Yeah, tease it.
But you don't want to tease somebody's dip too much now, Maddie. That can be a fairly rude thing. Yeah, that can be painful every once in a while. So be careful.
You don't want to lead me on like that.
Be very careful with that. But I'd heard you guys going back and forth about the smoked trout dip, and what was the one you made, Maddie?
Oh, it was a queso. Okay. We had some sausage in it.
It's a sausage queso.
It was whatever my girlfriend put in it.
Well, that's enough teasing right there.
That's enough tease.
I don't know if I can take these.
We'll talk about it next segment. But when 9:30 hits, I FaceTime the missus from 8:30 or 9 to 9:30. As soon as 9:30 hits, I tell her good night. I go to bed. That's it.
That's it. If she don't answer and it's 9:31 and she calls back,
nope,
do not disturb.
I'm not answering.
That's right.
She knows the rules. Yeah, the thing, Phil, with women every now and then You got to lay down some laws.
Please educate me.
You just got to let them know, who's in charge sometimes, and tell them boundaries.
That works
just
in every relationship.
Just because they call doesn't mean I'm answering.
Very smart. Yeah. That's called a tease too.
Yeah,
that's a tease. It's just not you're just not teasing her dip. Hey, one thing you got to tease about today, because guess what happens on a Tuesday? Every single Tuesday at Joe's Grilling Cantina, there's a very special thing going on. It is like clockwork. Tuesday. What happens on Tuesday, LeBron?
It's Taco Tuesday,
and LeBron's coming out swinging with crispy beef and chicken tacos for just $1 all day long at Joe's Grilling Cantina in Fort Smith.
Guess who we had for our Thanksgiving party yesterday? We had Joe's Grilling Cantina.
You got to be kidding.
Yep. So, gosh, we
ate
a lot.
It was delicioso.
It was fantastico.
Did your queso compete well with their queso?
It's funny because even though I brought queso, I used their queso to pour on my tacos.
Oh, that's for.
It's much more pourable, I would think.
You're telling Connie that you like someone else's queso.
She's not listening right now. She's
very smart. You know the time you can say these things. You can get pork carnita tacos for just $2.25. Brisket and pork belly tacos are $3.25 all day long at Joe's Grilling Cantina. And guess what? Since the Razorback basketball game is on the TV tonight, they're going to have it there for you at Joe's Grill and Cantina, right across from Harps in Fort Smith. Go to georgefortsmith.com if you want any more information. You can see all their specials as well. And we hope to see you there. 877-377-6963. Danny West from Hogs Sports joining us, bottom of the hour, getting into some recruiting. And Nate Olson will recap what happened in the high school playoffs over the weekend at the top of the next hour. Also got Get Off My Lawn and anything you want to get to as well. Halftime right back after this.
Girl, don't cry and tell me nothing's wrong. I'll be all right one way or another. So let me go or make me want to stay. If this is it, please let me know. If this ain't love, you better let me go. If this is it, I wanna know.
We have expectations. Does everyone understand that?
Note from the logo. Three-pointer good. And to Davis. Davis all the way to the other end. Lays it in.
Hop on the Must Bus.
Lobs it for Vanover. And Connor slams it home.
Keep that foot on the pedal.
Razorback basketball lives here.
Arkansas wins the game.
Catch the action all season long on your home for the Razorbacks.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC is the River Valley's truck superstore. No one has a bigger selection of new and pre-owned trucks. If you need a regular cab work truck, Harry has them, and the biggest selection you'll find anywhere. Over 60 full-size pre-owned trucks are in stock now, and over 250 pre-owned vehicles are on the lot. And for the first time in 90 days, new 2021 trucks are on the ground. When the other dealers don't have it, Harry does. The area's truck superstore, Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The Big Hardy has 2 juicy charbroiled beef patties, melted cheese, and classic sauce. It's what you order from Hardee's when you want a big meal. A big, beefy, melted, cheesy meal. And with 3 juicy charbroiled beef patties, the really big Hardy is what you order when you want a really big, meaty meal. A really big charbroiled beefy meal. A really big, beefy, melted, cheesy, juicy, tasty. You get the idea. The Big Hardy and Really Big Hardy at Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
This week, we pause to say thanks for the many blessings we enjoy in our daily lives on Thanksgiving Day. Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith wishes each of you and your families a happy Thanksgiving Day. And we say thank you to all of our customers for your business this year. We will be closed Thursday, and we will reopen at 9 a.m. for our traditional Black Friday sale. Happy Thanksgiving from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
A huge selection of hard-to-find toys, all 20% off. Black Friday will never be the same. The Party Place is having a gigantic 2-day sale. Popular hard-to-find toys, 20% off. Calico Critters, Plus Creation, Playmobil, Air Force, musical keyboards, vet sets for that animal-loving child, magic kits, and so much more. 2 days only. Black Friday and Small Business Saturday at the Party Place. In Rogers, Conway, and Fort Smith.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
TGI Fridays is the best place in Fort Smith for food, fun, and football. Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has your favorite beers on tap. And Thursday through Sunday for bar football, all drafts are just $2. Fridays is the best place to watch football with plenty of TVs so you won't miss a second of the action while enjoying famous Fridays appetizers like the loaded potato skins or Friday's signature whiskey glazed sliders. It's food, fun, and football with $2 drafts Thursday through Sunday at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Roar!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. The Morning Rush, Halftime, Ruskin and Zach, Hog Reaction, Coffee with Counsel, Huddle Up, and Fantasy Football Sunday. All available on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just type Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcasts are on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, HitThatLine.com, Anchor, TuneIn, Stitcher, and Google Play. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center.
All right, I was going to ask about the dip. I want to know about the dip.
Okay.
How did the dip go yesterday? It was there were other dips that were involved in this.
I counted
right?
6 other dips.
There were 6 other dips.
Or 6 dips total.
Not counting the human being dips that brought dips with them, right?
That's right. Not counting the people I work with every day.
This is the ESPN Arkansas crew that had a dip luck yesterday. Potluck involves like
I'd say it was more of a luncheon.
Dip.
It was a luncheon with the dip contest.
It was like a luncheon with food provided by Joe's Grill and Cantina with a dip contest, and a couple of people brought like pies. Betty made some sausage balls.
But the smack talk that I heard just was between the two of you.
Yes.
You really kind of felt like your ability to cook, had already separated himself.
It was ultimately I fancied myself as separating myself from the crowd.
You've got an ego for a chef, don't you?
A little bit. I mean, when you're the best, Phil, it's hard to deny it.
Now, so
you know what I mean?
But I try. I mean,
what did you make first of all?
All right, I made a smoked trout dip, which
I've had that before somewhere else, and it's really
with
good.
fish from Walmart.
No,
What?
I caught the fish.
You caught that?
I caught that fish. You ate fish
In
that
Fort
that
Smith?
I actually no, not in Fort Smith.
In what river?
Out of the White River. I caught it in the White River.
The same river that you and I fished in with Phil.
Yes.
With the other Phil.
Yes.
That was a while back.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that fish, was it?
No, it wasn't that fish.
God,
Remember,
all of a sudden, are people around you in that office
That explains the smell.
are ready to throw up now?
Yeah, because we didn't keep those fish. That'd be a little weird because we didn't take them back and put them in the freezer or anything. But no, this was fish that me and my father caught. Probably a year ago. Freeze them, and then my father.
Oh, so longer than when you and I went.
Yes,
fishing.
but they were frozen.
Okay.
It was fine. And then my father smoked the fish in Memphis. So the fish traveled from the White River in Arkansas to outside Memphis, Tennessee, where my parents live. It was then smoked there and then transported to Fort Smith, where I made it into a dip.
You do know
this trout went on quite a long journey.
You know it's illegal to transport fish over state lines.
And then compete
That's not
with it.
fair. That's not true.
So what went into the queso with you and Connie, Maddie?
Well, I do know there was
See, he doesn't even know the ingredients.
Well, I saw when she was putting it in there. Well, there was the sausage. I cooked the sausage.
Did you
make the sausage?
Did you
slaughter that pig?
The pig from the sausage?
I never want to know where my food comes from. I just show up at the store and it's in a package and I don't think about it.
All your food comes from a stork, doesn't it?
Correct. Yeah, it shows up in my refrigerator.
I mean, mine was pretty much farm to table, but it is what it is.
I know there was sausage. There was of a Velveeta type cheese. There was cream cheese. There was Rotel tomatoes, and there was some Hatch chilies, and
those are usually green Hatch, right?
Green Hatch chilies.
So,
yes.
all right, who won?
I won.
Maddie won.
It was by
and it's because it's because my
vote.
culinary talents and my uniqueness of trying to stand out and be different and not just smother everything in cheese was. I guess it didn't agree with the simpletons around here's palates.
I think your coworkers voted against your ego, Drew.
Maybe I don't know. All I know is if we were on like Hell's Kitchen or another cooking show.
Gordon Ramsay
he would have picked mine.
I think Gordon Ramsay might have gotten in your face
he
and
probably
would have seen what happens next.
He's like, this smells like fish.
Well, of course it smells like fish. There's fish in it. It's like the main ingredients.
Who wants a dip that tastes like fish?
You said you liked it.
They don't. I did like. Did anybody else tell you that?
Yeah.
Now there was really something.
It wasn't bad.
You actually won something for this too.
I
like
did.
This,
he did.
And I don't know if Drew really knew that there was such a huge
prize.
prize.
If I knew the prize was that big, I would have gone as simple as possible. I would have just, instead of just bringing ponchos, I would have passed ponchos off as my own.
I'm going to eat that ponchos, though.
Good,
today.
go ahead.
So, yeah, I technically won the prize. It was $100 to Doze, but as soon as I got home, I handed it right over to the missus as we.
That's a smart man. See, that's somebody, Drew,
it was
that knows
her
how
prize.
to take care of a woman.
And she'll treat me.
He admitted who made the dish, and he admitted what he did with the winnings the moment that he saw her. That's a happy couple right there.
And you're saying me and the missus aren't a happy couple?
I don't know enough about the two of you to know whether or not. I will say that you took a giant step forward by not embarrassing her publicly at the Grizzlies game on Friday.
Thank you. I really wanted to,
and
but
y'all aren't much for pictures. And
no, we don't.
It took you you had a hard time finding a couple of pictures.
It did. We've been dating for, oh goodness gracious, 9-10 months now.
Only feels I
may have like 5,
her.
6. I may have 5, 6 pictures with her. We're just more of a in the moment type of people. So instead of, oh my gosh, we have to take a picture, to where like we'll say like when we're going somewhere, it's like, all right, let's remember to take a picture, and then we'll have fun, we'll do stuff, and then we'll get home and go, forgot to take that picture.
See, I like to put my
I'd rather have the memories of us having that time.
I've got a terrible memory
than so many other couples that we hang out with and mostly the women in these couples that have to get the right lighting, the right angle, take the same picture 1,000 times and slows up everything that we're doing.
Comes with the territory.
I absolutely hate it. I'm so glad that the missus isn't like that she's like, we'll take a picture, we'll take 1 or 2, that's it. Like, we're not going to sit there and have a full-on photo shoot.
Don't you like to put your love on display, though, and show everybody, look how proud I am of this woman.
That's what it's all about. It's about showing everybody. If it doesn't show up on social media in picture form, then it just didn't happen. It's like the proverbial tree in the forest without anybody around.
See, I'd much rather her know that I love her than the rest of the world. I think if I put as much effort in showing my girlfriend that I love her as much as other couples put in making sure the world knows that their significant other loves them, then I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, but so much
because a lot of that on social media is fake. Because you see those couples that you know in real life, and on social media they're like so happy, grand.
Oh, they're the ones with the dual accounts.
Hashtag blessed.
They're the ones with the dual accounts.
In public, they are fighting, they are yelling, they're making everything awkward for everyone else. I'd much rather be the couple that has 2 pictures on social media and is really easy to get along with, never fights in public, and is just are cool people. Because the people that show out and put it out on social media constantly, trying to rub in and show you their happiness, that's a cover. It's fake happiness. If you're really happy, you really didn't care if anyone else knew.
They practice those smiles, right? It's like Jack Nicholson's Jokers, just always, they pull,
plastered on,
just pulling those cheeks right up there for everybody to see. Yeah, wait till they get a load of me. Right, Danny West will come up after the break. You guys do a Turkey Bowl football game? Because you better be careful if you're trying to impress the family, man. Don't hurt your future possible in-laws.
Doing kickball this year. Never did a turkey bowl growing up. My family didn't do it. The missus's family does do one, but they decided they're switching it to kickball.
That's safer.
Yes.
Although, is it the kickball where you can throw the ball at them and they're out if the ball hits them?
I'm guessing,
because
it's again. So I'm playing with the missus family. It's against their best family friends. So it's the missus families versus the Marauders. So I think as long as I don't injure anyone, I can throw the ball out. Now
this has a Hatfields versus McCoy's kind of flavor to it.
Here's the predicament I'm in. I can't go too hard because just how the missus's father is known in high places. The head of the other family's household is an admiral in the Navy. So
you're screwed.
You're
so screwed.
So many high connections. I don't know what to do.
Fake a really bad stomach ache so you don't have to go out there and play with them. Because I wouldn't want to be messing around in a situation where I might actually...
It's either I might injure a former FBI agent or I tick off an admiral.
Also, don't bring up your criminal history every day like you do
on air in public. Yeah.
Keep that.
Apparently, my fish smuggling scheme has been.
I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, don't let the Game and Fish Commission does not need to hear about where you've been taking your fish, okay, Drew? Especially what you're doing with it afterwards with your dips. Hey, one great thing you got to remember about after Thanksgiving, because hey, you don't just want to sit around. There is a lot of football to watch, but you don't just want to sit around. You want to get to Stuttgart because the 86th annual World Championship Duck Calling Contest in Wings Over the Prairie is this weekend. Downtown Stuttgart, Arkansas. It's sponsored by Max Prairie Wings, Winchester Ammunition, Benelli, Lennox Industries, Purina, Right Fiber, and Saracen Casino. Friday and Saturday, there's the children's duck calling classes, hot air balloons, exhibitor tents, got the 5K Great Duck Race, always good. Make sure you've digested your food by then. The beer garden, the Michelob Ultra Duck Gumbo Cook-Off with Drew, of course, has been telling us for the last week that he could win.
I could win.
I don't even think he'd finish in the top 50.
I could win.
It all leads up to the World Championship Duck Calling Contest. Wings Over the Prairie Festival, Thanksgiving weekend, Stuttgart. For more info and for a full schedule of the events, go to stuttgartarkansas.org or call 870-673-1602. Danny West from hogsports.com, next up on Halftime.
My love is going stronger.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
This year's Value Bonanza sales event at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas gives you more ways to save. Save big with 0% financing and cashback offers on select New Holland tractors, hay, and forage products, and materials handling equipment. These offers end December 31st, so make the trip to Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas today. You get more choices and more savings when you buy during Value Bonanza. For commercial use only. Customer participation subject to credit qualification and C&H Industrial Capital LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply. Down payment may be required.
The 86th Annual World Championship Duck Calling Contest and Wings Over the Prairie Festival is November 26th and 27th, Thanksgiving weekend in downtown Stuttgart, Arkansas. We'll have children's duck calling classes, hot air balloons, exhibitor tents, 5 and 10K great duck races, a beer garden, and the Michelob Ultra Duck Gumbo Cook-Off, the Wings Over Prairie Festival, Thanksgiving weekend in Stuttgart. For more information and a full schedule of events, visit stuttgartarkansas.org or call 870-673-1602.
Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith is a place to be if you're looking for quality, certified, pre-owned vehicles. And when we're talking trucks, we're talking Randall Ford. Whether you're wanting one that's one of the Leadfoot Grays, we have those. Raptors, oh yeah, we have those. If you're looking for the Venom R, they're built specially for Randall Ford. I have a gorgeous lifted Venom R sitting right here by me. So come by and check out all the trucks, all the selection today at 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith at Randall Ford.
For a limited time, Art's Barbecue and Burgers is serving up some great combo platters with all your favorite choices from Art's. Ribs and brisket, catfish and brisket, pulled pork and brisket, plus catfish and...
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it.
It's been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
There's a woman going crazy on Caroline Street, stopping every man that she does meet, saying if you'll be gentle, if you'll be sweet, I'll show you my place on Caroline Street. She claimed that a loud voice to be a dancer, but I don't think.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Randall Ford and Bud Light. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
We're going to talk recruiting here with Danny West from hogsports.com. I hear the Razorbacks signed a pretty darn good recruit for a Saturday night in April. Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Going to be Garth Brooks has signed to play in the spring with this Arkansas football team. That's a lot different. I don't think there's ever been a live concert inside Donald W. Reynolds Stadium or even in Bud Walton Arena. So it's a little different for the football stadium, but man, I don't know anybody that wouldn't at least be looking forward to something like that.
Well, he's only verbally committed to it, right? I mean, he hasn't signed yet, so you got to keep.
He's got three. Can he sign early signing day? 3 weeks? Is that when he puts pen to paper?
Yeah.
I mean, who are his other two schools in his top three? We need to know.
That's right.
Well, it's guards, so probably Oklahoma State, and who knows? But no, that's a good deal, man. When is that? April? I'm trying to think
April 23rd.
23rd. Yeah.
Yeah, what that might coincide with as far as recruiting. I guess they would. Typically, I think they're going to be able to have kids on campus. So who knows? Maybe you can make a recruiting deal out of it. Obviously, couldn't give them tickets or anything like that. But if they're in town, they like Garth, there's your opportunity, I reckon.
Man, I remember when Garth Brooks came through the Pioneer League. He played in Billings, Montana. This would have been 1998. I'm working with a baseball team in Helena, Montana. And he played in Billings.
It was a big deal in 98.
He took batting practice with the Billings Mustangs that year. The dude loves baseball. But let's get into football here, Danny. And you could essentially have. I know it's not an unlimited roster, but the seniors, the super seniors, or those who use the extra year of eligibility from the COVID season, it didn't count against roster counters for this year. Moving forward, though, for next year, that's not the case. So I only ask that because now we just hear yesterday from Sam Pittman, Dalton Wagner is not going to walk for the senior day ceremony, so you would assume he's coming back for another season. And the more seniors that decide to come back, that counts against the roster next season. So now you do have to worry about the math, in which case this last year you didn't.
That's right, and that's what makes it tricky, right? I mean, you got so many spots that you're trying to fill up, but you want to fill them accordingly and adequately, right? I mean, it's a numbers game at this point. You've got to be pretty selective in terms of who you invite back. You know, if there's a 6-year potential super senior on your current roster, and maybe you think you can get a better player via the transfer portal, or a high school kid that obviously is going to have 4 years of eligibility. I think you've got some tough decisions to make there. I think there's 7 or 8 guys that potentially, and you mentioned one there, Dalton Wagner, potentially could come back for another year. I mean, we could try to run through them, but Wagner, Joe Fouché is in there, Buster Brown, Bumper Poole, Shane Clennon, Jordan Silver, and there's 1 or 2 more there that I'm mistaken here. I don't have them written down. I apologize, but that's a pretty good group. I think obviously if Joe Fouché and Buster wanted to come back, and Bumper, I mean, you got to take them. But there are some questions about some other guys if they're going to move on, or how it might play out. And sure, I don't envy the guys for, first of all, having to make those decisions, and secondly, having to wait until those decisions are made by the players before they even know how many spots they've got available, for this year's recruiting class. So a little bit of a different challenge this year. I'm sure they've got a fine game plan on how to attack it and how it's going to play out. But I'm as curious as anybody in terms of, how many spots do you have? It's kind of been unclear all calendar year. So we're getting down to it now after the season. I guess after this Missouri game on Friday, we'll be able to potentially start finding out who's coming back and who's moving on.
Some might try to read between the lines when Coach Pittman openly on his radio show last week, talked about trying to talk to Dalton Wagner about coming back, and he's played really well at right tackle, and that's such an important position on the offensive line. I know Coach Pittman really values his tackles, but on the other side at left tackle, Myron Cunningham is out of eligibility. So who of the young guys do you think could step into that role next year? A Jalen St. John, a Tykeus Crawford. Do you think either of those guys might be ready next year?
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth. Those would be my 2 guesses. A guy that I'm still curious about, Phil, is Marcus Henderson. He played a little bit last year as a true freshman. Really haven't heard much from him since, have we? So I think he's a guy that he's right there with St. John and Crawford in terms of, first of all, he's versatile. I know they liked him initially at tackle, so we'll see if he can handle that. But he's a guy that's moved around a little bit already, and we just haven't seen a whole lot from him. So those 2 that you mentioned there would be my first 2 guesses. Obviously, Tykeus is he's behind Dalton at right tackle. We would have to see if he can make that transition to left. And I think he's always played right tackle, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Crawford could correct me on that if I'm wrong, but just, trying to remember his film, I've always seen him at right tackle. So a little bit of a different deal on the left side, but yeah, you nailed it. Those would be the 2 candidates, and I think they're happy with those 2. We just haven't had a chance to see them out there a whole lot. So the spring would be really valuable for both, and who knows, maybe there's somebody else that we're not even thinking of yet that could potentially come in. And we would have to wait and see if the transfer portal, if there's a hands-down starter that they could go get. I know their needs on defensive line and at linebacker, and in my opinion, I think they could use a corner that could come in and start right away. But, if there's a hands-down, sure enough starter that could come in day one and take a job like that, I think you have to roll the dice and take him. Obviously, you would need to feel really, really good about that, but time will tell if that guy exists in the portal.
Mm-hmm. Is there anybody in the portal as of now? I know the 5-star guy from LSU entered either yesterday or late last week into the portal. Is anybody in the transfer portal right now that you see as a big target for Arkansas?
Yeah, I think there's a few, but, I'm not ready to mention specific names. I do think there are some linebackers that they've, I'm not even going to say made contact with, but I think could be strong candidates to, we could see some movement there. I think edge rushers and interior defensive linemen obviously have to be way up on their board. Linebacker, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, if Buster moves on, and guys, I think he's having the type of year, Buster catches a lot of flack. Now, he's had a really good year, in my opinion. He keeps coming up with these timely turnovers, huge plays, and huge situations. I think he's done enough this year to potentially set himself up and have a good run at it in the at the next level. So we'll have to wait and see on that and wait on his grades to come back and what he's hearing. But I would anticipate him moving on if I had to guess right now. So you look at the cornerback spot, I don't know about you guys, but I wouldn't feel great about it unless, maybe you develop somebody. Is there a Chase Lowry in there that's doing really well as a scout team guy, or a Kewan Parker? Maybe one of those guys emerges. You're bringing in a Jalen Lewis in this year's class, 2022 class, really heavily recruited kid out of Tennessee. He's got the length and the athleticism to jump in, but that's a lot to ask, from a true freshman in this league. We would, I'd be curious if he could handle it, but I know he's a guy that they feel really good about. So somebody is either going to have to step up and develop in the spring and into fall camp next year, or, again, another spot where a transfer portal seems kind of attractive.
What about Devin Bush? That's a name that's, man. I mean, I think he's been out there just a couple of games this year. I mean, he's kind of. I think a lot of people expected him to be a dude, and right now he's not even a name.
Yeah, it's wildly interesting to me. Every week we release the depth chart when Arkansas announces their depth chart, and I write his name every single week as a backup corner. And, typically you expect a backup corner to play quite a bit. At some point they're going to rotate in and get some playing time, but we never see the guy. And so, you bring up a good point there. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Maybe he's just not where they want him to be yet, but certainly a 4-star guy, had all the accolades coming out. There was a little bit of drama. They were trying to keep him. I think that was under the previous staff, Coach Morris and those guys. He decommitted, and he was all over the place. Didn't sign early, then he changed his mind. So it's kind of been a roller coaster from the get-go, and hopefully, it's going to even out, and at some point we get to see him. I always watch Twitter during the games, and I saw Scooter Harris was tweeting about Devin and kind of asking the same question the other night. Where is he at? Why doesn't he ever get to play? Especially in a game like that when you're giving up 560, whatever it was.
Denny, what about as far as recruiting goes for Missouri? Are they pretty much done with official visits? Will there be official and unofficial visits on the Hill on Friday?
Going to have several unofficial. That's kids, obviously. For people that don't keep up with the terminology in recruiting, unofficial, of course, is when the kid pays his own way. Nothing's paid for. He gets free tickets. That's it. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have a bunch of those guys. I would anticipate several from the 2023 class. You're already getting a head start, and that's the beauty of kind of filling up early for your current class. You can get a head start on those guys. They've done really well throughout the year. And I'd be willing to say right now, guys, just based on the momentum that they've carried into that class, and you look at all the visits they've gotten from that group so far, boy, it sure seems to me they're going to have a heck of a class next year. Now, I'm not going to guarantee anything yet, but you look at the stars and the guys who have been on campus several times already, and they're coming back again for this game. That's shaping up to really be a promising class, in my opinion. So I think I've got four stars already confirmed, 2 of which are top 100 players in the country. That's unheard of around here. And a couple of those guys have already been here 2-3 times. So that's a positive thing. To answer your question on official visitors, the only one I'm aware of is next week. So you won't have a game, obviously, but that's Samuel Mbake. He's for the current class, obviously, on an official, but 2022 wide receiver Samuel Mbake out of Kennesaw, Georgia, North Cobb High School. It's a powerhouse program. They've developed, dozens, maybe hundreds of Division I signees through the years. So he's another one, about 6'3", 215, somewhere in there, really big kid. I think Arkansas wouldn't mind adding one more guy like that, a big physical target, especially, your chances of losing Burks are probably pretty high at this point, right? He's probably going to move on, so maybe you can go out and get a guy similar to him. come in and help out next year.
Mbake is an example of somebody that you'd have no crack at without Sam Pittman being your head coach, right? I would just assume that Coach Pittman recruited that high school really hard and has relationships with them, and this is a direct result of him being the coach, right?
Yeah, as well as Scott Fountain, Jimmy Smith, some other guys with Georgia ties. It really has opened up a lot of doors that maybe we're not even talking too much about. Everybody still wants to talk about what happens in Texas and Louisiana, and rightfully so, but they've really done well in picking up momentum in the state of Georgia. And if you ask me, there's just about nowhere else you'd rather recruit from. Maybe Louisiana. We've talked about this on this show in recent weeks, but Georgia is right up there as good as anybody, and there's so many, hundreds of them in Georgia. So a few of them are going to fall through the cracks, and you don't need them going off to Minnesota and Kentucky. They need to come to Arkansas, and Arkansas finally has a connection there, so they're starting to capitalize a little bit.
All right. Danny, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you, man. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you for the time
Happy
that you've been giving us.
Thanks, you
yes,
too.
Sir.
It's Danny West from hogsports.com. Danny West 24/7 on Twitter to give him a follow. Halftime's brought to you by Crabtree RV Center, our friends in Alma, Arkansas. The dealership that's been serving you in the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years. Crabtree RV Center features a 17-acre, 26,000-square-foot showroom floor, and it's at the junction of I-40 and I-49 beside the Cracker Barrel. You've driven by it before. You might have been there before. You know exactly where it is. Crabtree RV Center will help your family get the best experience choosing the right RV, and if you got a breakdown, the service and parts department takes care of you. Crabtree RV makes your family's dreams come true, and been doing it for over 70 years and 4 generations. You can look at the entire inventory at crabtreerv.com. First hour of halftime, going to wrap up right after this.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer opens like every other seltzer, pours like every other seltzer, but it's not like every other seltzer. USDA certified organic, no added sugar, and low cal, so you've never seen another seltzer quite like it. And with new refreshing flavors like black cherry and watermelon strawberry, you've never tasted one like it either. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you're a fence builder or have building experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits, plus a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Your company is known for top pay and great salaries, but how do your benefits compare to the competition? Hi, this is Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. In today's competitive labor market, great pay is no longer enough. Call me at 479-651-2292 and let's discuss your benefit plans to make sure your company has what it needs to attract and retain the best talent. I am Brett Good with Henderson Phillips. Call me today, 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is the only place to watch the Hogs. Watch every game at Joe's. Enjoy half-price apps and taps during the game. And with TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat. Half-price appetizers like brisket nachos, Mexican pizza, 10-layer dip, or Joe's humongous sampler platter. All half-price. And all beers on tap are half-price. Watch every Hog game at Joe's. Half-price apps and taps during every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps.
Wherever work takes you, we've got you. The BF Goodrich Trademan Support Program. Get a $70 rewards card after online submission with the purchase of 4 new BF Goodrich passenger or light truck tires. You also get a $60 satisfaction guarantee and 24-hour worksite or roadside assistance. Southern Tire Mart just off of I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. BF Goodrich Tires and best-in-class service. See bfgoodrichtires.com/tradesman for complete details. Offer expires 12/31/2021. Void where prohibited.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Massard Road, is a locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith that wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been a part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling is totally stocked and has a large selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is always ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling today at 5500 Massard Road, and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. B-Dubs, wings, beer, sports.
You know what? I like all the players. No diggity, no doubt. Play on, play that. Play on, play that. Yo, Lloyd, drop the verse.
It's going down, fade to cleverly. My home has got.
Are you entered to win free mortgage for a year? Go to hiphotline.com.
Never slouch. As long as my
real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell and Matt Fowler at Highlands Residential Mortgage and Mountain Home. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Oh, I'm on social media last night.
That's a good idea, Phil.
It happens
That's
every
a terrible
day.
idea.
It happens multiple times a day. I'm on Twitter last night, and everybody's complaining about the telecast for the Arkansas-Kansas State game on ESPN News.
Well, that's because the Hogs themselves were playing too well to complain about. So we got to find something.
Well, I guess they didn't like some of the stuff that the announcers were saying, or that at least, like, it is a Big 12 crew, so I guess they're going to know Kansas State better. I'm not trying to make excuses, but they felt like the crew wanted Kansas State to win, I don't know if I'd necessarily view it through that lens.
I mean, that never happens. You get paid regardless, so.
But I think they also, the two of them work Big 12 games, so I would think they have a relationship with Bruce Weber, who's been in that league for a while now. And I don't know. Look, I know the play-by-play guy very well. Mark Neely. He's a really good friend. He's a terrific broadcaster. I didn't watch the game, so I don't know, anything that he said. But I know Mark well enough to have a sense that he doesn't really have biases with this. The other guy I've never heard before, Mark Adams, former college basketball head coach at Central Connecticut State, Western Oregon, and Rocky Mountain College. And teams had a combined winning percentage of 34% in the seasons before he took over. He won 65% of this. That's what it says in the ESPN press room bio about Mark Adams. But the interesting thing that I see here when I go to the bottom of his bio, of Mark Adams' bio on the ESPNpressroom.com website, who's Arkansas playing tonight?
Cincinnati.
Mark Adams is a graduate of the University of Cincinnati.
Uh-oh.
Have fun with that.
Uh-oh.
Because he graduated.
You just riled up Arkansas Twitter.
He graduated from the University of Cincinnati in 1979 with a Bachelor of Science degree in physical education. This is going to be a lot of fun because God help us if Cincinnati is left out of the top 4 of the college football playoff rankings tonight before Mr. Adams goes on the air and then can voice his frustration about just that while he openly roots for Cincinnati on the telecast and draws the utter hatred of Razorback Nation. This is going to be so much fun to watch.
And just quick look at his Twitter, 17 hours ago, he just retweeted an account called Cincy Slay and Bearcast Podcast.
All right.
Gosh, we don't stand a chance.
I know.
You really don't. Like, this is...
You thought last night was bad.
Yeah, just wait.
Buckle up.
That's it. I mean,
Hold on to your butts.
It's like Bubba is doing the broadcast with me, and he always talks about his Razorback glasses, right?
Yeah,
well, he's a graduate of the University of Arkansas. He played baseball for the University of Arkansas.
And he's doing the Razorback broadcast.
Doing the Arkansas
You don't
broadcast.
have to be, unbiased.
He does not have a pair of glasses that does not have Razorback lens for that game, and that's great. Is there such a thing as Bearcats glasses? Can these things be removed today?
I've been watching Cincinnati games my entire life. And for the life of me, still can't figure out what a Bearcat is. Is it a bear who wants to be a cat, or is it a cat as big as a bear?
It's like a liger. It's pretty much my favorite animal.
Well, I mean, what kind of cat is mixed with the bear?
Well, when
I'm hoping it's not your house, like a house cat that you have. Is it like a mountain lion cat? Is it a tiger and a bear? Like, what makes a bear cat a bear cat?
I just
it
realized
looks like
that
a bear, but with a cat's face.
The next game for women's basketball is also against Bearcats, but from Sam Houston State. So
I didn't know there's more than one Bearcat.
Yeah, we've got them in the north. Although Cincinnati's really just a part of Kentucky. Just don't tell them that's the truth.
It was right there on the border.
It's really just a part of Kentucky. And so we've got them in northern
when Cincinnati
Kentucky.
was redoing their home arena, they played at North Kentucky University.
Right. So we've got Bearcats now in extreme northern Kentucky, just over the river.
It's a tree-dwelling mammal.
That is ugly.
It's got like a monkey's tail, but like a rat's face.
And a body of like a wolf?
Or some sort of,
dog body, a face of a rat, and a tail of a monkey.
Tail.
Drew, you look like you just witnessed something absolutely
I mean,
horrific.
look at those
look
eyes.
At that face. That is a scary face.
Look at those yellow
eyes,
eyes,
looks like it's
man.
possessed by something.
Well, that's awesome, man.
That is scary.
Glad you got a frightening animal to worry about.
That's
today.
not what I thought it was going to look like.
Me neither. That's not what the mascot looks like.
I had a much more pleasant idea of a Bearcat. That's horrific.
Hey, all the eating that you're going to be doing this week, you're going to need to make sure you take care of your teeth. Get that food out of your teeth. Riley Farm Dental at Riley Park Drive, Suite A, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A can help you take care of your teeth. That's at the entrance of Highway 71, Riley Farms. Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan will serve to give patients better lives and comfortable experiences. Voted top 3 best of the best 4 years running. Braces, implants, cosmetics, all dental procedures at Riley Farm Dental. Go to RileyFarmDental.com. Visit them at 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, or call 226-3500. All right, we'll come back after the break, getting into high school football with Nate Olson from Scorebook Live. Stay with us.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity. Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
The Peter Pender Zone of Wave Rural Connect is open. That fiber internet, phone, and TV service you've been hearing so much about is now available for areas south of the Arkansas River to Coxville, to east of Cecil, and over to Roseville, with amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com to get signed up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities that we serve.
Hey, grounds Grounds guys.
Hey, what?
Y'all did such a great job on cleaning all the leaves from my yard, but I noticed y'all were pressure washing my neighbor's driveway. Y'all do that too?
Absolutely. Amy, the Grounds Guys is a full-service lawn and landscape company. We do leaf removal, gutter cleaning, power washing, and many other outdoor projects. At the Grounds Guys, we want your full lawn and landscape looking its best all year long. Call the Grounds Guys at 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-4897. And say,
Hey, Grounds guys.
and get $25 off any fall or winter service. The Grounds Guys.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we have plenty of sunshine coming on in as we remain under the influence of high pressure, touch of a south wind, and our highs are warming up area-wide into the low 60s. Some clouds around tonight to low 40s, and partly to mostly cloudy for tomorrow, the high low to mid-60s. Some rainy weather trying to move in Wednesday night into our Thanksgiving. I'm Jennifer Naramore with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Who should you start on Sunday? Ty Richardson and Evan Gentry have the answers. Fantasy Football Sunday every Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m.
It's fast. It's exciting.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3. Live from the Bushlight Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
.com. Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Hour number 2, halftime Tuesday-ish. It's a day.
Do we crumple up the box score?
Yeah.
I mean, it's halfway through our week.
He says that, and he doesn't have anything to crumple up.
I never do.
And then he does it with his mouth, and it
doesn't
just
even sound like anything.
It sounds like bacon frying.
Sounds like you blowing air. Sounds like you being a reverse vacuum cleaner. Jackson wants to know if the golden hour is tomorrow. I guess so.
I guess it is. We're going to have to do also our Friday football forecast on a Wednesday.
God, man. I mean, this Wednesday being look, and all you people get this wonderful, 4-day quote unquote weekend and everything, and I'm happy for you.
Thank
and
you.
You're going to get to eat, and you're going to get to have fun, and you get to be with people that you like.
Still not
maybe.
hearing
maybe,
but or a wrong reason.
I'm working all weekend, man. It's okay with me. I don't mind because I don't have anything else to do anyway. Football Friday, basketball Saturday, Sunday. And quite honest, wouldn't have it any other way.
And Ghostbusters this afternoon.
And Ghostbusters this afternoon.
I'm going to see Ghostbusters too today.
I've already seen it twice.
That's right. All right, we got Nate Olson with us.
Has he seen Ghostbusters?
Nate, have you seen Ghostbusters yet? The new one?
No, I really want to. That looks great. I just thought Clifford the Big Red Dog the other day with my son. That's one of my favorites as a kid. That was a good movie. I mean, if you have kids, maybe even if you don't, you should go see it. It's good feel-good flick. But yeah, we saw Ghostbusters, the preview for that when we were at Clifford the Big Red Dog. That's definitely on the Olsen's list. Big fan of Ghostbusters around.
Yeah, I'm sure you and your son argued about that quite a bit. Drew, Maddie, Nate and his son have the most interesting sports relationship because
I saw the picture on the
I
the
think
Twitter
the Razorbacks
machine.
are like the only team they root for together. So
yeah,
you had the Cowboys Chiefs thing going on Monday. You're the Cubs fan. Your son's the Cardinals fan. So you realize like later on in life,
just to spite you,
when he's a grown man, this might not work out very well for you guys, especially during the holidays.
Well, I'll tell you what. The thing that everybody in this house has in common is we love sports. So you're a baseball traditionalist, and I am too, and so is Luke. Luke's a baseball guy already at 10. So, we kind of put aside the rivalry because we both love the game, and that's a great thing. I love it that he loves baseball that much. And then, his older brother is a Cubs fan, and so yeah, it's a house divided, and Chiefs fan, so it's a house divided. We had a good time. Nothing got broken or anything on Sunday, so it was good. I think the Cowboys fans took their lumps, and they're still hopeful to go to the Super Bowl. So we'll see how that goes, but it worked out all right. We get along okay. We're all right.
I just don't see how you as a dignified Cubs fan could allow your son to be part of quote unquote the best fans in baseball. I don't get it. He needs to learn pain. Children need to learn what it's like to have sports pain, and cards don't do it for you.
I'm married a Cardinals fan.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, yeah. So I mean that's why it's down the line. So Sheena grew up here, worked at Ray Winder Field, so she watched when she was a kid all the Cardinals prospects, then worked at the stadium, and so that's her Cardinal love. And I grew up in the Midwest with the Cubs in Des Moines, at the AAA club. So then we get married, and then we have 2 children, and then the oldest one, is kind of aligned with me, and the youngest one, Luke's aligned with her. So that's kind of how it's gone, 50-50. But we make it work. It's fun. It was fun when we got married. We had a lot of fun. We were on XM Radio one time talking with a couple of the guys, and I can't remember who the hosts were, but we talked to them about, they were talking about people that have divided houses. So it's fun. We have a good time.
Guys, him bringing up, Sheena's love for the Cardinals coming through, going to see the Travelers at Ray Winder Field. It just reminds me of what it was like when I first started working there, because my first year was the first year after the end of the 35-year affiliation with the Cardinals. And here comes, the born and bred Pittsburgher who despises the Cardinals coming in here, who's sarcastic. Even at the age of 23, I was sarcastic. And I was like, guess what? I got your Cardinal affiliation right here. It's not a birthright. It's an affiliation. I had a lot of fun with that for a couple of years. Anyway, let's get into football, Nate.
Yeah, no problem.
Fayetteville is carrying the Northwest Arkansas banner now in the 7A playoffs, but, man, it was a what a comeback for the Bulldogs, huh?
Yeah. Well, there's some nervous moments for sure. I think, if you read my story on Bladen Fike, going back to last year, he took a knee too early. Fayetteville loses. I mean, I think that all comes back, the toughness that he has shown coming back from that manifests itself in games, too. You're down 21 points. Well, you spent the whole year through the ringer. I mean, you have battled back through all this adversity. So a 21-point deficit, not going to say you're going to laugh at it, but it's probably put in proper perspective when you've gone through what he's done. So, he rallies the troops, and it helps when you have a guy like Isaiah Satenya. 13 catches, 247, 3 touchdowns. He turns on the Jets in the second half. Fight settles in. I think he's around 400 yards passing. So when you have those two guys, I mean, they're the best combo in high school football, and probably one of the better ones in the Mid-South. I mean, I don't know how you exactly measure that, but I mean, they're good, and they showed it there in the second half. They got behind, gave up some, they got in the red zone and couldn't score 3 or 4 times in the first half, and Cabot took advantage. And Cabot's a scrappy team. They went to Bentonville last year and beat them, and they were not intimidated. They've got a good coach. Coach Reed is a veteran playoff coach, and he had them ready to go, and it took a Herculean effort in the second half to get it done, but they do, and live to fight another day. And now we'll have to play Conway at home, and Conway, they beat them in the opening game of the season. Manny Smith, their diminutive playmaker, didn't play a lot of that game with cramps. So see how that goes if he's there all 4 quarters. But I know Fayetteville is happy to get past. I mean, when in the playoffs, I mean, you just win any way you can. And it's not, you don't get style points. So I know they're glad to be playing. They should be. They're favored to, and now we'll see what they do against Conway.
Yeah, I stayed in the 7A last week. Close one with North Little Rock edging out Bentonville. How did that one turn out?
That the last few minutes were unbelievable. Bentonville returns a punt 90 yards for a touchdown, and then that sets up a game-winning drive by Malachi Gober, the North Little Rock quarterback. That's a guy that's been kind of up and down. I think he's done a pretty good job. He replaces a guy in Kareem Cotton, who is a Division I, recruit, and so Gober, he's had to lead him on a couple drives, and so that's tough when there's about 2 minutes, 2:30 or so left, and you've got to go the length of the field, and he hits receiver on a 13-yard touchdown with 11 seconds left. I mean, that perfect for them. They used the exact amount of time you should. I mean, it came out perfect to them. They score with 11 seconds. Bentonville has no time to answer. So heartbreak for the Tigers. I mean, when you get that long punt return, you think the game's probably, close to over if you can just get a stop. And North Little Rock is gutsy, though. And then, that's why I was one of the only ones to have them ranked number 2 to start the season off. And it was because of the kids. I mean, they've been to 5 straight state championships, and they've had 3 different coaches. But the constant's been those ball players. And those guys are tough, gritty, athletic dudes, and they know how to get it done. And it's not easy to go 3.5 hours and play in a place like Bentonville that's got the student section, the jungle there. It's a raucous place, and no doubt when they were trying to make that drive at the end, it was loud, and they were able to do it. So, that big win for them. And now play Bryan in a rematch to try, regular season to try to get to the state championship game.
Nate, big one down here in the River Valley. Got Parkview at Greenwood. How do you see that one shaping up?
Greenwood, man, it's crazy how things go. A month and a half ago, I mean, I had Greenwood people saying we'll barely make the playoffs. We're going to be 6-4. And I said, where have you been for the last 25 years? You been a fan that long, or did you just jump on last year? Because I'm not counting them out. I mean, I know better than that. I've seen it with my own eyes for the past 20 years. So they got healthy. They played Parkview in the season opener. 5 starters are out, including Hunter Houston, the quarterback. And one by one, they all kind of came back, and then you saw this great momentum boost. And the last game of the regular season, they play Lake Hamilton, and Lake Hamilton's just come off their first loss of the year, a 1-point loss to Benton, and they shellacked them, 35-0. Greenwood wins, and I'm kind of like, okay, here we go. And then after that game, everybody said Greenwood's the favorite to win the state championship, and now it's kind of hard to argue with that. They play Parkview at home. I think there's still probably a burr in their saddle from losing that first game, because there was quite a bit of noise talk after that game. I mean, obviously in Parkview you can't blame them. I mean, they were happy about that, and they celebrated that win. But I don't think they did anything out of the ordinary. But Greenwood hates to lose, and they hate losing like that. And I think that's stuck there. They've hoped they could play them again. They get their wish. Haven't lost a home playoff game since 2014. So, I mean, all the ingredients are right for Greenwood to win this ball game. Parkview is unbelievably talented. They've got 8 guys who have Division I scholarship offers. They've got freshmen on the team that are already getting looked at. I mean, they are pound for pound one of the most talented teams at any level. But hard to beat that mystique. It's kind of like you're playing against the Ghost, kind of like the old Boston Garden. You're playing against the Ghost when you come play over at Greenwood in the playoffs. So I would think I'd have them favored to win slightly. I think that all the momentum and everything is on their side now.
Jeff in Fayetteville wants to know about Shiloh Christian. I know they got Rivercrest, and he said they're representing 4A back-to-back and 3rd straight trip to Little Rock. What do you see out of Shiloh?
The interesting story about them is they've got to go to Rivercrest. I mean, they didn't have to leave Springdale last year until they went to the title game. So that's a hard, long trip, but I'm sure they'll travel in parts. I don't know if they'll leave Thursday night or do it all day Friday, but I know Jeff Conaway will have a good plan on getting over there. Rivercrest they played them in the state championship game last year. They beat them handily, blew them out. And this is a team that that has lost a lot of players from that team, but have had a good year. But I think Shiloh is a heavy favorite in this game because, Malvern, not the best year. They didn't have the best year, but they were up on them 21-20 with late in the ball game, about 2:49, and Michael Rayner has to run 29 yards for the touchdown to seal the win. Got a good quarterback named Mike Sharp. He had a 93-yard touchdown pass last week. But they're not on the level that Shiloh is. And I think if Shiloh was going to go play at Crossett, Robinson, Arkadelphia, I might be a little more nervous if I'm a Shiloh fan, but they probably wouldn't because they're so good. But this is, if you're going to travel 5 hours for a road game, playoff game, this is an opponent you want to play because I don't think they have near the horses to and they're the Colts. They don't have the horses to keep up with Shiloh, but it is really interesting that you've got to go there all the way across. Caden Henley, 8 tackles. He's a Razorback commit. He leads a great defense. Shutout against Ashdown and Shamar Easter, the Arkansas tight end commit. Really, 5 turnovers. Ashdown is very explosive. Beat them 21-0, and that just shows you how good their defense is.
Hey, Nate, happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate you joining us. Enjoy the football, and not too far off from some championship games.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Ready for a good weekend, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Happy Thanksgiving. It's been great being on here. Appreciate it. We'll do it a few more times, guys.
Hey, appreciate it, Nate. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right,
Yep.
Nate Olson from Scorebook Live joining us here on Halftime. And appreciate everything he does whenever he joins us. Hey, you hate paying your rent. I hate paying my rent. Hate paying your mortgage? I would if I had one. Thanks to real estate agents Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Matt Fowler at Highlands Residential Mortgage and Mountain Home. They're giving away free rent or mortgage payments for a year up to $15,000. This is at hitthatline.com. And with a free rent or mortgage for a year sweepstakes now through December 14th. It's brought to you by Nick and Ellie Glidewell, Matt Fowler at Highlands Residential Mortgage and Mountain Home, and ESPN Arkansas. You can get up to $15,000 to pay your rent or mortgage for this. Just got to enter. You got to call us, too, at 877-377-6963. We're right back.
Do you like paying your rent or mortgage every month? Of course not. Thanks to
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, heart one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another.
Spirits and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
You've trained for this all year. Endless hours of cardio, conditioning, and weights. And now you are ready. Ready to trek back to your seat from the concession stand. Through the lines, lost fans, and that mascot who wants you to do a little dancey dance, all without spilling a drop of your ice-cold Bud Light. Welcome back to football, sports fans.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Roar!
Need a little bit more halftime in your life? Make sure to download the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast. Eastside Liquor in Fort Smith has the best deals in the River Valley on liquor, beer, and wine. Stop by 9390 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and make sure to check out their Facebook page for weekly specials. The Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is part of the Hit That Line Podcast Network and is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
You're playing this because of the Napoleon Dynamite line from earlier in the show, right, Maddie?
No, I just love this song so much. Yes, that's why, because we were talking about Ligers.
Because we've got Bearcats, and we even brought up a Bearcat there with Nate. Did you realize that Boonville is the Bearcats?
I did not.
Boonville's the
Wow.
Bearcats. As Sam Houston State is, that 2 women's basketball plays on Saturday, as is Cincinnati, who men's basketball plays tonight.
Who could also possibly, maybe, I don't know, be the first to break through the CFI rankings and get to number 4 from the group of 5?
Seems things are sort of like lined up for that to happen.
They won't do it, though, right? They're going to continue to give them the shaft.
Well,
they will not let them happen.
That's the whole thing I've been going at with you since these rankings came out earlier this month. It's like you're not allowed to be a part of the party. You're allowed to watch the party.
And that's why it's a CFI. It's not a CFP.
If you're a G5 team and you're really good, you're allowed to watch the party from the outside of the house through windows, but you're not even allowed to smell what it's like inside. But maybe things are kind of working out just so for that to happen now. Because I don't know who else I'd put at number 4 other than Cincinnati right now. Who would you put?
I know.
You'd put Cincy because I know
I would.
You're a G5 guy.
I am. You know, that I would like. You know, my main argument about, and I even brought it up yesterday when we had Laney on, talking about separating other conferences. I don't want my own conference. I don't want my own championship. I want yours. And if Cincinnati is able to get into that picture, then that ultimately makes a case for someday down the road, maybe my alma mater, stars line up right, being in the same situation that Cincinnati's in right now, could possibly, have an actual shot at winning a national championship, and not one that was created for us, the real actual
But still,
one.
Even for that to happen, all of the stars have to align just so, and the planets have to align just so, even to just get there, even to really have a crack. I don't remember what the final rankings were for UCF the year that they had their fictional national championship. But
I think they finished at 8.
Yeah, undefeated team at 8. And I don't remember all the stuff.
I
that
mean,
happened in front of
Cincy
them.
getting to 5 is already the highest, group of 5 school ever. I think Cincy's at 5. UCF is the highest they've ever made. It was 8. Memphis got to 13 at one point. I know Houston's been around that 10 to 12 mark before. And I know Navy's gotten in the top 15. Temple's been in the top 15 before. There's been a lot of top 15 and bordering that top 10, but you've really only had 2 schools bust into that top 10 ranking.
Man, I mean, there's no way right now. Oregon loses, so there's no way that Cincinnati can get, leapfrogged over. Michigan State could have if they would have. I was going to say beaten Ohio State. If they would have shown up and actually played, maybe things would have been a little bit different. I don't know. But
Phil, I wouldn't be shocked if they put Michigan or Notre Dame in before they do Cincinnati.
And I see what you're getting at here about Notre Dame, because there are a lot, and I believe in head versus head should mean something.
Exactly.
A lot of people think it shouldn't, and I think there might be some in the committee who view that the same way, because still putting Michigan ahead of Michigan State. We even asked Bill King about that a couple weeks ago, and he didn't think that head versus head is end all be all. No, nor should it be. But I think if the records are even and there's an example of these two teams playing each other, I mean, you got to go in that direction.
I mean, JT in Hot Springs on our text line makes a good point when they put Michigan ahead of Michigan State. A week after Michigan State beat them, then they were setting up a precedent of head-to-head not mattering.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It is true, but I'm sure there were some voters that viewed it differently than that. Alabama doesn't fall off of the 2 slot after a close win over the Razorbacks, do they? I mean, I just don't. It's not like they played a bad team.
No, they stay at number 2, and you expect Arkansas to stay in the rankings, I think.
Well, where were they? 21st?
21.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them, hanging around in the top
23,
25.
24.
Well, I mean, they went up 4 slots just by beating LSU, and so I would assume a loss on the road by 7 to Alabama, the second-ranked team in the same poll, doesn't necessarily knock you out of the top 25, especially when there's a 4-loss team in Mississippi State that was there at number 25.
Yeah, so I think losing to Alabama, especially in the fashion that you did, guarantees you kind of a spot still in the top 25 when the CFP rankings come out later today.
But there is this thought, too, and it feels true in some cases. Like, the playoffs kind of begin, around rivalry week to the championship games. Alabama can't lose another game. I don't think a 2-loss SEC team is getting in this year, nor really in any other situation, to be quite honest. So, it's playoffs for Alabama the rest of the way, theoretically. Same with Ohio State, another loss by Ohio State, whether to Michigan or you couldn't see them losing in the Big Ten championship game the way they're playing right now. I mean, then they're out. They're done. So the playoffs kind of already are quasi starting right now. Although for Georgia, that's the team that could suffer a loss and still get in, because you just don't have any other undefeated teams outside of Cincinnati. And I know we'll point to UTSA, but them just getting into the top 25 as undefeated and being in.
I mean, but also let's
enough.
be honest.
Yes, right.
When we talk about group of 5, there still is a pecking order. Just like there is in the P5, there is in the group of 5. The American is way better than Conference USA.
So who does Cincinnati have left? And they got East Carolina on Friday. I guess, is that a rivalry for Cincinnati?
No.
I didn't think it was. I'm not sure if they, outside of Xavier for basketball, if Cincinnati has a true
the University of Memphis was
football rival.
Would have been one.
But it doesn't. It hasn't lasted. That's,
Well, see, it would have been a better football rivalry, especially after, because, in Conference USA for so many years together. And, before that, when both schools were independent on the football side, played a lot of the time. But when the American went to 12 teams and they kind of flip-flopped, had Memphis in the West and Cincy in the East, they didn't play every year. But in basketball, I would still say Memphis is a top 5 rival of Cincinnati.
Yeah. I mean, you could,
because you go back to
you split the sports a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to Conference USA, American, you go back to the Midwest, the Metro, Cincinnati was always there. It's kind of the same way with Louisville back in the day.
So it's Cincinnati versus Houston for the AAC championship, no matter what. So, I mean, Houston's in the rankings too.
Mm-hmm.
Would a Cincinnati loss in that championship game knock them out of the rankings? You bet it would. You can't lose to an American team. You can't lose to an AAC team under any situation and be concerned about, being a national championship team. It does not work that way.
I mean, Houston's one loss was to SMU. SMU then turned around and lost to Memphis and then dropped completely out of it. So you just can't. If you want to have a shot at staying in these rankings and continuously climbing up and making a case for yourself, the only people you are ever even kind of allowed to lose to would be, I guess like a Notre Dame. But since he was able to pull that one off.
Hey, Arkansas did get pretty good news yesterday, or at least media and fans got good news. The team already knew it. Traylon Burks is going to be fine and ready to play against Missouri on Friday. Wondering about the situation, though, with Dominique Johnson because it was an injury that kept him off the field for most of Saturday's game against Alabama. And if you're dealing with injuries, if you're a weekend warrior or even a professional athlete, Ozark Orthopedics can help you stay in the game and help treat your injuries and get you back to the activities that you love safely and pain-free. The sports medicine experts at Ozark Orthopedic can help you during, before, or after the game. Their team of orthopedic specialists can provide you with the most comprehensive and advanced care available. Ozark-ortho.com is the website, and the phone number 479-521-2752. They've got the network all over Northwest Arkansas. That's Ozark Orthopedics. Halftime right back, and we've got Get Off My Lawn.
It's not what's intended. These words just come out with no cross to bear. I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the right words to say. Promise. I know they don't sound the way I planned them to be. Promise. But if you wait around a while, I'll make you fall for me. I promise you.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
Making Moves is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs.
The 1947 Notre Dame Fighting Irish entered the season with quarterback Johnny Lujack, the Heisman favorite, and an offensive line considered one of the greatest in college football. The talented Irish squad didn't disappoint. They went on to an undefeated season and won the national championship after defeating unbeaten and third-ranked USC 38-7. 46 players went on to play in the NFL.
Build your winning team today. Go to linkedin.com/sports.
Just like in football, there's nothing like that one perfectly timed addition to get your team off and running. That's where LinkedIn steps in. LinkedIn Jobs taps into a network of over 770 million professionals to find the right people for your role. Then their filtering and prioritization tools help you narrow down to just the most qualified candidates for you. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn #1 in increasing the quality of hire versus leading competitors. Post a job for free at linkedin.com/sports. That's linkedin.com/sports.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
If you needed major surgery, you probably wouldn't choose a doctor who's never been to medical school. So when your car needs major repairs after a collision, why would you take your car to a body shop that's never been trained? Evans Body Shop is among only 10% of collision repair businesses to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold class shop. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and how to repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. With the safety of your vehicle and your family at stake, choose trained repair professionals. Choose Evans Body Shop.
Evans Body Shop, where we meet the
nicest people by accident.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you're a fence builder or have building experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits, plus a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has COVID vaccinations available today for you and your family. Law's Drugstore has the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 and up. The vaccine is safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Just call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Call them now, 452-6116.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings. Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
I know we got to pack this kind of stuff in here pretty tightly as we're 25 minutes before the top of the hour here on halftime, so let's get right into it. Get off my lawn on the
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous. How dare you? How dare you say such a thing? That is insanity.
You're talking like a song from The Lion King. Stop that. It makes no sense.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
This is ridiculous.
I'm calling my supervisor.
You're not going to amount to jack squat.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn to get in an RV, but only if it's from Crabtree RV Center in Alma, the dealership that served you in the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for over 70 years. Go to CrabtreeRV.com to see their entire inventory, or just visit them at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma on their 17-acre, 26,000-square-foot showroom floor. And Crabtree RV Center will help your family with the best experience, starting from choosing the right RV for your adventures. Have breakdown service and parts department can fix you up. All you need at Crabtree RV, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years and 4 generations. Again, CrabtreeRV.com. First, get off my lawn is for me for going with the stupid lucky quarter on Friday for our picks.
You killed its mojo.
It was lucky until you tried to use it.
Both went 1 and 5.
Apparently so. I ruined the mojo of the lucky quarter, not just for Maddie, but also for my own picks. Maybe tomorrow I'll actually change my mind about jinxes.
Maybe use your own quarter.
Not.
Yeah.
Why are you using my quarter?
Because it was working. It was working. Yeah, I believed in the power of your quarter and your fabulous fingers, man.
It only has so much power, and I think you
drained it.
Yeah, you drained it.
You killed it.
Yep.
All right, I have a second get off my lawn, and it's to Mizzou. It's to the University of Missouri and the entire athletics They find people running the athletics department, I'm sure.
Mm.
But they can get off my lawn because
Yeah.
Missouri's in the middle of nowhere, man. I mean, legit.
It really is.
People want to make fun of things about Arkansas. You're in Fayetteville in northwest Arkansas, man. This is a burgeoning metropolis ready to explode over. It already is. In the next 30 years, it's going to become one of the engines of innovation in the entire country. It already is. What's going on in central Missouri other than trying to do whatever's going on in
Columbia
Jefferson
is
City?
It is the state capital. Isn't it?
Jefferson City is
Jefferson.
the state capital.
It's not too far though. From
It's close by, and
Yeah.
it's another middle of nowhere. So it's in the middle of nowhere. The facilities that the Athletics use, with the exception of basketball and softball, they have a really nice basketball arena. Softball stadium looks nice. The baseball park is a dump.
Mhm.
It's an absolute. This is the worst in the SEC, and it's a baseball program that's always very good before SEC play starts. It's always this is the year.
Funny how
this
that
is the
works
year.
out.
This is the year. Yeah, this is the year you're not going to make the NCAA tournament again. It's also where my ex-wife went to school, so you can see where I'm going there.
Yeah, I get it. I can see that connection.
It's a school that still has a Big 8 mentality, not even a Big 12 mentality. They got a Big 8 mentality from back in long. Heck, it's practically a Big 6 mentality when you look at some of the facilities. So all that stuff, and it's the Syracuse of sports writers. You know,
of course, we've all heard it.
You know, it's just the same as the sports broadcasters. They're going to consistently, constantly remind you where they went to school and that it's the best J school in the country.
I
blah,
went to
blah,
Missouri.
Blah, 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 blah. Get off my lawn.
What is the big three that like to brag? Syracuse, Missouri, and North Carolina. Are they still up there? That
Northwestern, yeah, it was Ohio and all. You know,
Yeah.
the schools that I wouldn't have been able to get into, pretty much.
I could have got into if I applied, but I don't want to go there. I don't want to go to Missouri. You know, I talk bad about how annoying it is when the West Virginia or Tennessee fans do Country Road Take Me Home or Rocky Top. It's Missouri's MIZZOU chant might be more annoying and more of just ear stabbing to the ears. I absolutely hate it. So I'm all for your get off my lawn.
Good.
I'm all for it.
Good, and I think after Arkansas pounds Missouri on Friday, they can get off of the lawn at Razorback Stadium and go back to the pasture up in Columbia.
You know what else about Missouri, real quick, before I get to mine? When you go there, they have different, things around campus that have, like, logos. They literally have logos that say MU. But they're the University of Missouri.
And Kansas does the same thing.
How can you be the University of Missouri and then have your logo as MU? That would mean you're Missouri University.
It's because they're stupid.
Apparently.
Kansas does the
That
same
drives me
thing.
insane.
Kansas, a bunch of stupid people there, too.
Yeah, I mean.
You'd think that for rivals
who's
who
from
really
Kansas?
care about being rivals so
Dorothy?
much that one would make themselves look different than the other.
BTK killer. He's from Kansas. Yeah.
Wichita.
Think about that.
Should have known.
I
Yeah.
knew that one. Well, this segment just took an evil turn.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
I mean, but that's how bad Kansas is. The first person that I think of when I think of the state of Kansas as a whole
Not
is
Dorothy.
a serial killer.
It's a serial killer.
I mean, maybe that says more about my twisted mind
I
than
think-
anything else.
I think Wilt Chamberlain, and he was a serial something else.
He put up numbers, let's say.
He put up a lot
Big
of
numbers.
Big if they were true. That's the thing. I don't know if they're real numbers.
He told some tells.
Yes. He spun some yarns with his wise words. All right, my get off my lawn. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to make fun of me for this. But I was
Again?
actually really ticked off this morning. So Michael Eaves from SportsCenter can get off my lawn. So this is where it gets bad. The missus and I like to watch DWTS. And for those that don't know what that is.
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. We watch Dancing with the Stars. I personally, I kind of like it.
I'm always in
it's
the other
also,
room when that's
It's
on.
also a good thing. We have a long distance relationship. It's a good thing for us to talk about. Kind of share
That's
and
cute.
kind of share stuff. Because it's so hard to really be connected with each other when you're 4.5 hours away.
Oh, wait, let me see.
Every day.
Aw.
Thank you. But I actually do like the show. So with the Razorbacks playing last night at 8, obviously I could not watch the finale of Dancing with the Stars last night. So I'm like, all right, I go onto Twitter, right? And you can block like certain phrases from showing up on your Twitter feed. So I block Dancing with the Stars. I block DWTS. I block
I mean,
Amon
this is
Shumpert.
serious. You don't
I
want
blocked
this spoiled.
JoJo Siwa. I blocked,
JoJo Siwa.
Well, she was a finalist.
Oh, she was. Oh,
she's a finalist.
See, I had no idea.
I blocked Amanda Kuntz.
She's the Nickelodeon girl with the bows and
I just thought she was annoying.
No, I blocked Amanda Kuntz and dang it, who's the fourth person? I can't even remember who the fourth finalist is right now. But I blocked them all last night on Twitter so that I would not know the results. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna make it through the whole day. Caroline knows the results. My mom knows the results because she texted me asking if I got to watch it. I said no spoilers. So I'm like, I'm gonna make it through this whole day without a single spoiler.
It's
getting
tough
ready.
to do in this day and age,
Exactly.
man.
So what a lot of people are probably wondering is how does Michael Eaves of SportsCenter connect to this? So he hosted SportsCenter last night, and I was watching this morning. I was getting ready. I normally leave the house about 5:05. So I'm turning SportsCenter off at 5 o'clock as they sign off, and he says, "Oh, and congratulations."
Don't say it in case we got listeners that are in the same position.
No, they're not in the same boat.
Okay, then who won?
He says, "Oh, by the way, congratulations to Amon Shumpert for winning Dancing with the Stars last night." I went, "Ah!"
No way. You're telling me he
I
won?
didn't even make it 40 minutes into my day.
So-
I thought I was going to make it all the way through this show.
Are you not going to watch your favorite program?
I mean,
now?
I'm going to watch
What's
it.
the point now?
I like the dances.
Artem Chingvinstiv. Where would I know him from? That's the guy. Oh, that's the professional dancer that they were dancing.
Yes. So I'm going to watch it, but I was so ticked off because, for one,
you just
the
ruined
missus
it for
isn't
a couple
that good
other
at
people.
Huh?
You did. You're Michael Eaves to a couple other people.
Well, that's
right
fine.
now.
That's fine. If it has to be ruined for me, it's ruined for everybody else.
Dude,
I'm sorry.
Then Drew, get off everybody else's lawn.
I can get off everybody else's lawn
What a
then.
jerk.
What a wreck.
Eves ruined it. I made it 40 minutes into my day, and I thought I was going to make it.
I had the same issue with this would have been, it was an AFC championship game that the Steelers played against the Jets. And I'm doing UALR women's basketball, then we're in Florida, and they scheduled the flight back to Little Rock during the AFC championship game. Okay? So, and, of course, what do airline pilots like to do during the NFL playoffs? Give you the score.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs to know the score of the game from the airline pilot. I would just rather you keep both hands on whatever the wheel is and just fly the plane. I know they got autopilot and stuff, okay? So I went up to the flight attendant and begged her. I said, I am recording the Steelers-Jets AFC championship game. Can you please ask the pilot to not give score updates? Her answer to me was, well, he just likes to give score updates, so maybe he's just going to do it once or twice. This is a losing proposition. So I keep walking down. I was strategic with the volume on my earphones for the entire flight. Every time that sucker came on the PA system, those things went up to 11 in my ear. Might have caused myself 1 year of hearing loss just because of this. All I knew was that the Steelers scored the first 3 points. That was it. Made it back to Little Rock, 12:30 a.m., had no clue who won the game, and I'd recorded it on VHS.
Wow. That's an old-timey
It takes
sentence.
effort, man, and this was like 13 years ago, and it still took effort then.
So last Thursday, by the time I got home from seeing Ghostbusters, I pulled up YouTube, and somebody had filmed at a drive-thru the whole ending scene. And, there was clips of it. So if I hadn't have seen it, it would have given some important information away. And so it's hard to stay away from it.
So let's see. Dustin, Sean, B.E., JT. They just had their nights totally ruined.
This song is from them
I
to Drew.
feel like they're making fun of me. And if not, then I'm glad there's other DWTS fans that are males out there with me.
Don't ever use those initials.
Any spoiler complaints, let us hear them. 877-377-6963.
Well, my morning was ruined. My day was ruined.
So you got to ruin everybody else?
I guess.
Cherry on the top coming right after this.
When I'm around, I can't stand to be around. I hate everything about you.
Oh my gourd, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. This month, I want to say thanks. So I'm on a mission to make car buying easy as pie and help you snag a sweet deal on one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. This month, you could drive a nicer, newer car and save up to $4,150. That's a lot of dough. So if your old ride is flaky, crusty, burnt, or rusty, don't let it squash your happiness. Trade it for a nicer, newer car now, even if you still owe money, and save up to $4,150. Plus, my For the People approval process makes financing your nicer, newer car easy as pie. Keeping the car you have? Get it ready for winter in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Deals this delicious won't last long, so visit us today at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
This week, we pause to say thanks for the many blessings we enjoy in our daily lives on Thanksgiving Day. Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith wishes each of you and your families a happy Thanksgiving Day. And we say thank you to all of our customers for your business this year. We will be closed Thursday, and we will reopen at 9 a.m. for our traditional Black Friday sale. Happy Thanksgiving from Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6-inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link, and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
Now that fall is here, my flower beds are looking awful. Is there anything y'all can do to help me with that?
You called the right place. The grounds guys, you can leave the yard work to us by cleaning up your flower beds, adding in some nice fall color, putting in some fresh mulch, cleaning up all the leaves and twigs out of your yard, whatever it is you need to keep your home's curb appeal looking great all year. That's what we specialize in. Call 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-4897 and say,
Hey, grounds guys.
Get $25 off any fall service.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
This is ESPN 95.3. Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. B-Dubs, wings, beer, sports. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
All right, wrap things up here on Halftime. First, got to remind you about our Champion Cycling giveaway from our friends at Champion Cycling in Fort Smith. Just go to hitthatline.com. You'll see free bike at the top of the banner there and click it. All you got to do is enter your email, your name, where you live, your state, postal code, phone number, hit submit, and you're entered to win a Specialized Alley road bike, or a Specialized 12-inch Rip Rock kids bike. And you can enter now through December 19th at hitthatline.com. Brought to you by Champion Cycling in Fort Smith at 5500 Massard Road. Go to championcycling.com or call them at 479-484-7500.
So I never knew that's what this song was about, huh?
Yeah.
He's saying, don't stand so close to me because I'm a underage boy and you're my teacher.
I think it was the other way around. I think he's
I'm
the
teacher. Oh, boy. Ooh,
speaking
that's
with
even
the
worse.
The younger girl.
Oh,
yeah.
Is the girl hitting on the teacher, or
Look,
is the
I'm
teacher
sorry.
hitting on the girl?
I'm sorry I played this song. That's really.
Then I mean,
It's
it
such
just
an-
goes to
it's-
show the
I
police
just
are
like-
the weirdest. Have the weirdest songs because every breath you take is the stalker anthem.
Well, I remember that.
And
from the
anybody that
movie
says that's
Cat's Eye.
a sweet song is absolutely creepy.
See, to me, that reminds me of the scary movie Cat's Eye from when I was
Yeah.
a kid, where they played it a few times.
I mean, it's the stalker creepy anthem.
Hey, and as much I still love the Police and their songs and everything, but still my favorite Police song is Eddie Murphy singing Roxanne in the movie 48 Hours. It's absolutely perfect. I actually like Eddie Murphy doing James Brown better than I like James Brown doing James Brown.
Didn't you assign me James Brown this week?
I did. It was the Payback. You might want to listen to the album that's got Funky President on it too, which is a really good one. A really good one. So we got some coaching stuff coming along here.
I'm going to knock that out on my drive tomorrow.
Here is a coaching fact that Jason Garrett is no longer the offensive coordinator for the New York Giants. He has been fired this afternoon following the Monday Night Football loss to the Bucs. 31st in the NFL last year in points, and not doing any better this year either. So Jason Garrett, less than 2 years into his time as their offensive coordinator, is no longer their offensive coordinator after the 9 years with the Dallas Cowboys.
There's a little background
That was
music
pretty
for you.
good.
This is one of the greatest songs
Jason Garrett just
ever
lost his
covered.
job, and then it's Eddie Murphy in the background. Roxanne.
Well, they have two completely different jobs to worry about. It's just beautiful just to hear that. And he's singing that with Nick Nolte looking down on him. Just with now, that's a movie that can be a little bit of a tough watch.
You can't make that.
You can't make that
No,
movie
no,
nowadays.
Some of
That's
that
for
language.
What
they
movie
use.
is this?
48 hours.
And then another 48
I have not
hours.
seen it.
It's a great movie. It's really, I mean, it's fast-paced, entertaining, funny, a lot of, really great action scenes. But there's a lot of language that I don't think you'd be able to get away with even in today, even now, even with an R rating on it.
With
really,
racially sensitive
Ah,
stuff.
ah,
that
yeah.
You just
Lot
wouldn't
of
do
that
in a movie
stuff.
now.
So there are rumors.
I mean, it's like close to like Django or racist stuff because
pretty close to it, yeah.
I mean, you can play a drinking game to that
Tarantino
game.
gets away with a lot of stuff that no other director could do.
Anyway, it is a good
Anyways,
movie. It's a good listen, even if and a good watch, even if you're just listening to Eddie Murphy do that one song. That's it. Of course, Eddie did fancy himself a singer. Did have some top 5 hits in the 80s. That's right. And my favorite Eddie Murphy song, which was titled "Boogie in Your Butt." There are rumors about LSU that are moving around now, and apparently, according to Glenn Gilbo at Outkick, LSU football coaching search is down to 3 coaches. And
who are they?
One of them is Dave Aranda, their former
Okay.
defensive coordinator, now at Baylor. Billy Napier, who is connected to every open job now. He's the John Gruden of college football.
Big Game Bob next? Or?
And Matt Campbell of Iowa State.
Oh.
Those are apparently the 3 candidates that this is down to. And according to the Outkick story, the next coach could be named by the end of this week or early next week. Well, I mean, you've been searching now for, 6 weeks?
About, yeah.
Didn't they make the change so that they could get out ahead of this thing a little bit?
Yeah, so
it's about time.
Made the change right before the week they played Florida, which would have been the week that Arkansas played Auburn. So the week before, October 16th.
And according to Outkick, Aranda appears to be in the lead. So
okay.
Not too many defensive-minded head coaches running SEC teams, but the 2 top team programs right now, they do have the defensive head coach mentality. And that's halftime for what was today again?
Thirsty Thursday.
This was a Thursday with a Tuesday flavor to it. Okay, very good. So I don't know what tomorrow is.
It was
gonna
Taco
be,
Thursday.
but it's something involving the 3 of us. So
It's
for
Friday, Wednesday.
Maddie, and for Drew, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Wake up